Hello and welcome to Inspired. I'm your host, Michelle Bohm, and this show is brought to you by I've Decided. We're so excited to be here today. On this show, we bring you the people, stories, and ideas that are designed to create that spark of inspiration to lead you to take action on whatever it might be, whether it is to find new work, to fulfill a dream that's been sitting in your heart, or to find a place to serve your community. And that's what we're going to be talking about today with my guests. Our weekly winning word this week is work. And I hope you all enjoyed your Labor Day yesterday, which is oftentimes a break from work in the United States for many of us. I used that time to kind of think about the work that I was doing, and I always do those little check-ins to make sure that my work really is aligned with my values and my aspirations. And if you do that often enough and you continue to make sure those things are aligned, then your work becomes a calling. It becomes a purpose. And I imagine that is how my guest, Andy Thornton, feels most of the time.
It is,
It
actually,
is?
yeah.
Yeah, good. Andy is the president and CEO of the Greater Peoria YMCA. And today we're going to talk a little bit about his work and the work that the Y does in the community and how you can get involved. If you are just joining us, I want to encourage you to take a minute and share this on your favorite social media channel so that we can spread the good word about what's going on right here in our community. Again, Andy, welcome. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to be here with us.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we're always excited to have you. For those of you that don't know, for our friends that may not know you personally or know what the YMCA does, can you kind of give a little bit of an explanation, a little history?
Yeah. So my name's Andy Thornton, as you've mentioned, the president and CEO of the Greater Peoria Family YMCA for just over 2 years now. But I am a born and raised citizen of Peoria County.
Yeah.
Grew up in western Peoria County, went to school at Alina Bluffs High School, graduated from Illinois State University, came back a couple of years ago after kind of touring the state, working for the YMCA for the last 20 years, and happy to be home. My wife is from the area. She went to Limestone High School as well, and it's been a great experience to come back home and just serve through the capacity of working at the YMCA.
Yeah.
And you were talking about the importance of work and aligning that with your values, and I get to do that every day at the YMCA, and it really is a calling, so to speak. And when you get to do things that positively impact others who utilize our facility or take part in some of the programs and services that we offer out in the community to help better their lives, then that you're making a difference, and there's nothing more rewarding than that.
It doesn't feel like work at all.
No,
right?
it's not work at all.
You jump out of bed ready to go because you're serving.
Absolutely, and that's really how I approach my work in the YMCA is it's service. The YMCA is a Christian organization. It's founded on Christian principles, and really the basis of Christianity, as we're taught in the Bible and through Christ's teachings, is to serve others.
Yes, serve your
and
fellow man.
help them be better. And that's exactly what we try to embody in our organization.
Right. And I know a lot of your staff members, and you can tell that is a trickle-down, mentality, because they all are very called to do what they're doing in your organization. And in just talking with them, you can tell they feel like they're making a difference. That what they, how amazing is that when you show up to work every day and you know that you're making a difference?
Yeah, it really is a requirement.
Yeah.
To want to help others in order to be effective in our work.
Right.
It just doesn't work well if you don't have that commitment. If you're there for self-service, self-servant reasons and things like that, it just doesn't work out very well.
That comes
and people
across.
see through that.
Yeah, it does.
See through that pretty quickly.
Well, the Y has an incredible reputation here in town for all the work that you do in the community. But there are probably some people, there were programs that I didn't even realize that you offer. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about the different programs, the way that you're serving the community?
Yeah, I can. And the way that I like to start this off is most people understand know who the YMCA is or have their own vision of what the YMCA is. And it's usually pretty basic. It's a place where they learned how to swim. It's a place where they go and play basketball, where they can lift some weights and work out and become healthier physically, right?
Yes.
And that's really, that's a true perception, but it's just the tip of the iceberg for who the organization is. And so that usually gives me the opportunity to explain a little bit deeper about what it is that we do in the community. And what I'd like to do today is just talk about some of the community outreach work that we do.
Yeah.
So we do have a pool, we do have swimming, we do have a gymnasium where we have people that play basketball and we run programs around those things. And we have a beautiful wellness center where people come and do that physical activity as well. But there's so much more that we do, and we like to say that we're so much more than that.
Yeah.
And the outreach work that we do is extremely important because that's where we deliver, I think, best and most effectively through that service mindset.
Right.
And
going directly to the people that need it.
Yeah, we
versus
try
them
to.
coming to you.
Yeah,
Right.
we try to because many people in the community still don't know where the YMCA is in Peoria.
Right, yeah.
It used to be right across the street
Yeah.
from these studios
Right.
where the Dream Center is now. Now we're out on the north end, and many people don't know it because it's in an area that's really kind of secluded or protected by a lot of nature, which is great,
Right.
but you don't drive by it and see it every day.
That's true, yes.
So we do try to take our programs and services off-site, and there's three primary programs that we're running right now and focused on in helping to reach the at-risk community is kind of how we like to define it. The first one that we do is it's a teen reach. It's called Teen Reach.
Okay.
And it's an after-school program for kids that are preteen age, so 11 to 14.
Okay.
Got a little bit of the teenagers in there, but it's really that junior high age group that we're targeting, and that's really a missed demographic, I think, in a lot of ways. And so we provide a structured after-school program for those kids. It's free to anybody who wants to participate in it because it's funded through the Department of Human Services
Great.
out of the federal government. So we get a pretty significant grant. And we're one of 3 sites in the community that run that. So it's ourselves, the Children's Home has a program, and Commonplace has a program. And so we run that program year-round, after school, day-to-day. We go up and pick the kids up, I think, from 5 different schools out on the north end, kind of surrounding the YMCA, and we bring them to the Y, and we administer this intentionally developed program to support their academic needs, to support their wellness needs, and to help them really try to figure out who they want to be as an adult when they grow up, and do some career exploration and some mentorship through that program.
And how amazing to figure that out at
Yeah.
that age versus,
Right.
waiting till
And,
adulthood.
there's some studies out there that say, 75% of kids, I think 75 or 80% of kids, I don't know the exact number, but it's a large number of kids have already decided by junior high what they don't want to do
Oh,
because of a bad experience or
Right.
something like that they've
Yeah.
had. And
that's
so,
a kid that has trouble in math and is like, I don't
Yeah,
do that
right.
anymore.
Right.
But they could go to this program and
Yeah,
get some.
and that's part of the program. We don't solve it for everybody, but that is part of our intent, is to just help expand their knowledge base
Yeah.
of what is out there. And just because you had a bad experience as a child with a doctor or something like that
Right.
doesn't mean that you can't be a doctor.
Right.
Right,
Teach
or that
them
you
how
should
to
turn
think
away from it.
differently about
Absolutely,
things.
critical
Yeah.
thinking
Yes,
skills,
absolutely.
how to work in small groups, how to work with adults, and how to make eye contact, and how to lift your eye away from the screen.
Instead of talking
which
to the
we
top of
all
their head.
we all struggle with.
Right.
But soft skills is what we call that. Just make sure that they know what it means and how important that is when you're engaging with adults.
Yeah.
To look them in the eye, to shake their hands, to introduce yourselves, and those things are critically important. So that's one program. It runs year round. It's after school, and then in the summertime we do a full day program, kind of like a summer day camp.
Right. Okay.
But it's for older age group.
And then the parents know their kids are
Yeah.
somewhere safe, that
Exactly.
they are, because at that age, they're kind of starting to be home alone and
Yeah.
getting into trouble. And
Yeah, and when
So-
kids are left alone, they explore.
Right.
And sometimes
Yeah,
they do
not-
things
not
that
the
they
best.
they shouldn't do.
right.
And so we try to provide that safe alternative, and it works really well. It really does. We're really proud of it. We'll serve about 150 kids throughout the school year,
Wow.
just working with those different schools. And we're really looking to expand that program over the next couple years too. So we're really excited about that.
Well, that in and of itself, I could see what a huge difference that makes. But that's not all you do.
No, it's
Yeah.
not. It's not. And there's other programs that we run too. Another one that we're running, which is pretty close to here where your studios are downtown, over on the East Bluff, which is a really let's a struggling area.
It is,
There's
yeah.
a lot of crime in that area. There's a lot of negative activity that's going on with drugs and things like that. And so, but the East Bluff Community Center is there, and it is a huge asset for that community. And we partner with them, and we deliver a program over there on Saturday mornings. It's called Rebound. It's
Okay.
a basketball program, but it's a mentoring program really, and we use access. We get access to the kids by
yeah.
inviting them in to play basketball.
Use basketball to get to them.
Yeah, it's kind of the carrot
yeah.
to get them in the door, and they get to play plenty of basketball, and
Right.
they love that. But we really we bring in adult mentors. We get some students from Bradley that come in, and some other volunteers that are a part of that, and they provide that mentoring piece. When I first came back to town a couple of years ago, one of the statistics that I first stumbled across, and I wasn't looking for this, it just kind of came across my desk. It was that 70% of the kids that live on the East Bluff are living up without an adult role model, or without an adult male role model.
Right,
So a
yeah.
lot of these boys are growing up without a good, positive example of what it means to be a productive male citizen.
Yeah,
Right? But they're surrounded by a lot of negative behavior.
absolutely.
So there's a cycle there that happens, and when that's all they see and all they know, then you can understand why they kind of
If you
get
don't
into
see
that.
anything different, you don't know that you can
Right.
be anything different.
Right, you don't know any different. So when I saw that stat, and we were already offering a program over there, it was just a summer-based basketball program. I immediately thought we got to do better than that.
Yeah.
We have to expand this. We have to make it more year-round. It has to be mentoring focused. And so we bring some males in, and they plug in with these kids, and it's once a week. It's on a Saturday. But it's so interesting to see the dynamics of those relationships
Oh, I
as
imagine.
they develop.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
That's
we
gotta be
so we
incredibly
run that
rewarding.
program. It's Saturday mornings. We feed them while they're there, so they get a meal for the weekend. We know there's a lot of hunger issues in that community too. So we're just trying to fill the gap as best we can. And the neat thing about that program is we've learned recently over this last summer that the Dream Center, who's right here downtown over on Hamilton Boulevard, is running a similar program later in the day on Saturdays. So we put our heads together, and we're merging those programs, and we're gonna expand the program by pooling our resources and
So smart.
combining our efforts and bringing all those volunteers and all those staff support together to really make a positive impact on these kids. And we've got a pretty big vision for this program collectively with the Dream Center, and how we can really build a pretty sophisticated kind of basketball program for
Right.
the youth of the community that's more than just basketball.
Right.
It's about, developing quality skills in these kids on how to grow up and how to behave and how to treat one another.
Right.
And then just expand it that way. And they get to play basketball all while they're doing that, right? Which is the
The kids
Peoria,
don't
it's
even
one of the
realize
most
that they're
important
learning
things.
something when they're doing that.
Yeah,
That-
absolutely.
that's fantastic. And to be able to partner with other community organizations like
Right.
that, I mean, you have to have that.
Yeah, it's
You're always,
critical.
we're always trying to do more with less resources, and being able to have those partnerships is
It's
great.
absolutely critical, especially in the not-for-profit community, because
Right.
we're limited already.
Right.
And but by combining our efforts, pooling our resources, pulling our support together, we can really make a difference, I think. And it's going to be exciting to see where this thing goes over the
Oh,
next couple
definitely.
years and how many kids we engage in that.
Yeah.
We're having some really interesting conversations that I'm really excited about.
Oh, that makes me so happy. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
Seeing
is,
those
and
things
the other
happen.
thing that gets me excited about it is when I first started working for the Y, I worked for the Peoria YMCA right out of college. I came to Peoria, and I didn't really know much about it. I needed to do an internship, and they opened their doors and welcomed me. And it was over here where the Dream Center is now. That's where the YMCA used to be located. So now it's kind of come full circle to where we're partnering with them, and we're delivering some of those same types of programs and services in partnership with them in that old facility, which they now own and operate and do a fantastic
Yeah.
job with over there.
That's so great that you've had that full
Yeah,
circle
it is
moment,
really
that
cool.
you came back and now
Yeah.
you're doing that again.
It's really exciting.
So now the Y will still teach my kids how to swim too, right?
Absolutely. they
Okay,
will.
because that's how I remember the Y. Like you said,
Yeah.
I learned how to swim at the Pekin YWCA.
Yeah.
Is how I learned how to swim when I was a little baby.
Critical skill, right?
It is critical skill.
And it's more than just learning how to swim, right?
Right.
The confidence that you
Oh,
develop
yeah.
and understand that you can swim, you can dive into the pool, and you can swim across it. And what that does for you is it propels
I
you through
totally
life.
believed I was a shark. Like
Yeah.
I could do it. Yeah. So you still do that?
We do that, and we do that in a couple of different ways. So we have the traditional swim lesson model, like everybody is familiar with, where
Right.
you sign up for a program, you come to the Y, we teach you how to swim over a period of 6 to 8 weeks with our instructors. And then there's another program that we've developed in this outreach focus that's called Safety Around Water.
Okay.
Another thing that we've learned over, and you see it in the news, drowning is prevalent, right? Across the country, we know it's prevalent in our community. Drownings or near drownings, and a lot of kids are growing up in and around water that don't know anything about how to behave around it or how to act.
Yeah.
And they don't have a lot of confidence around it either. And so we've developed a program that's called Safety Around Water. It's actually a national YMCA program. It's an initiative that we've decided that we're going to embrace here locally. But we're working with the Park District, Peoria Park District. We're working with the Peoria Area Water Wizards, which is the competitive swim team up at Central Park Pool. And we've combined our efforts, and we're delivering a Safety Around Water program to students at Peoria High School. So we're launching a pilot this fall to where we're going to engage somewhere between 400 and 450 students in this Safety Around Water program. And the neat thing about it is they're going to gain access to water while they're in school. Because we know if we do it after hours and we require them to come back, we're going to lose a bunch of them because they have transportation issues or they have other extracurricular activities that are going on and they can't get there. So I just had a meeting last Friday with Dr. Coleman, who's the principal at Peoria High School, and some of her PE department heads and assistant principals, and talked about how can we deliver this program in an effective way that reaches as many kids as possible and doesn't disrupt your school day that much, right? So, but they all take PE.
But
So we're going to deliver it kind of through the PE program. And they're going to be able to come over across the street to Central Park Pool, and they're going to learn how to swim. And the Safety Around Water curriculum is a real basic swim lesson. So from what you probably remember in your experience was a lot of stroke development, rotary breathing, things like that. We don't even touch those things in this program. We just teach them how to be safe, how to enter the pool, how to exit the pool, how to tread water, so they learn how to jump in, they learn how to turn around and get back to the sidewall. So if they ever get in a situation to where they're in a pool, they feel comfortable. Or if they're out and about with friends and somebody falls in,
then they know what to do.
they know how to save them.
Right.
So we teach them basic CPR skills, basic rescue skills, those things, because we're really just trying to build the foundation of safety so that they feel comfortable and can develop some confidence, then maybe advance into some more advanced swim lesson programs.
It's so great that you have all of these, like you said, you think of the Y for swim lessons or for, the basketball and things like that, but you're taking these initiatives out into the community, and it's making a world of difference.
Yeah, it does.
Now, I imagine, and I know that this has to be true, that a lot of the community that you serve cannot afford these services.
Right.
So fundraising is a huge part of your job. And I understand that you've got a event coming up in the next couple of weeks. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I'm losing my voice here. Sorry. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's all right.
But we do. We have our Summer Soiree event, which is our annual fundraiser. It takes place poolside at the YMCA. So we have the beautiful outdoor pool, 50-meter pool with a large pool deck that surrounds it, and we're running our summer fundraiser there. This will be our 4th year doing this, so we're expecting over 200 people to show up. There's a band that's on the pool deck, so there's a live music that's going on all night long. It's catered by Cracked Pepper.
Wonderful.
And there's a bar there as well, a cash bar for folks to engage with. So it's really just a socialization event. This year's event is a little bit unique. We've kind of taken it to the next level, and that's kind of our vision for it, is to grow it a little bit each year. Greg Batten is our MC. So Greg Batten is on WMBD, the Greg and Dan show every morning. He's going to come and MC the event and kind of lead us through the evening. We've got a raffle that's going on here. We're selling raffle tickets for folks that want to participate. You don't have to be there to win.
Cool.
But we've got some really interesting prizes that the folks have donated. So we've got a diamond tennis bracelet and a pendant that have been donated, over $5,000 in jewelry that we're giving away at the event. And then a bunch of other prizes that come from local vendors and things like that. And it's, excuse me, it's important for me to say that this event's sponsored by Busey Bank.
Great.
They've stepped up to the plate and offer some really some good support for us to underwrite some of these costs and things for it. But $75 a ticket, it's $600 a table. It's a night out with friends and family, and just come to the YMCA and
that.
support a great cause. And all the money we raise goes to support these programs that we've talked about, plus just our general scholarship fund.
Yeah.
So anybody who wants to participate in a program or service at the Y, we reduce the cost if they can show us that there's a need for it.
Right.
So we eliminate the financial barrier. And we'll extend as much as an 80% scholarship to somebody for membership or for programs.
Wow.
Just to help remove that barrier for those
And you
things.
have to have the funding to be able to
We
do
do.
that, and
We do.
this is one way. So what's the date again?
It is Saturday, September 14th.
And
at the
people can get
YMCA.
tickets?
You can get tickets on our website, PeoriaYMCA.org. All the information is there. Just Google or search soiree on our
And
webpage. It'll take you right to the link. All the information is there. You can purchase a table. You can look at our sponsorship packages, or you can buy your raffle tickets online as well.
Great, very cool. Now, if somebody can't donate their money, can they donate their time? Are you still needing volunteers?
We have needs for volunteers in all of these programs, and
Okay.
there's information on our website about that we just talked about. And we have some volunteer service days too that we'll be coordinating and having volunteers just come in and help clean up our property,
Sure.
do things like that. But any of the programs that we offer, there's opportunities for folks to volunteer their time to support that.
Wonderful. And I mean, there's no greater gift that you can give yourself to feel good about yourself than to help somebody else,
That's
right? Which actually, I'm going to flip it over to Daryl because I know he's going to talk a little bit about that.
All right, that's
Our
great.
friend Daryl Crook at Fishing for Inspiration is going to talk about how you can find joy in work.
Hey,
Daryl,
Michelle.
let's hear from you.
It's good to be back. Work is an interesting word. Some people say that it's kind of a bad four-letter word. They want to avoid work as much as possible. Somebody said that work can actually make you happy. And that's an interesting thought. It's like a lot of other things in our lives, though. I just think it's a matter of perspective, how we perceive it, how we look at it. One thing that I heard recently is that one of the best ways to look at it is, who are you serving? Who are you helping? Martin Seligman, the father of positive psychology, said, what's the single most mood-enhancing thing that you can do is to help another person. If you think about how your work is helping another person, then that can give you a lot of satisfaction. It doesn't matter what you're doing. It can be the most menial task, like janitorial work and cleaning. You can think about how that is helping the people that work in the area where you're cleaning. Or maybe you're building a part at Caterpillar, something that might seem kind of minute and doesn't matter, but think about the big picture. Think about the piece of machinery that's going in. Think about what that machinery is going to do. It's going to build roads, it's going to build buildings and things like that. Think about all the people that's going to help. If you're a carpenter, you're not just hammering nails, you're building someone's home. Think about how much that is helping them, and that will give you a lot of work satisfaction and actually make you happy. So work is no longer a bad word, a four-letter word. It's something that you can actually enjoy. How about that?
Well, Daryl, you are right as always. There is joy in work if you just look for it. I hope that you were inspired by my guest, again, Andy Thornton, today from the Greater Peoria YMCA, and that you were maybe inspired to get involved in one way or another, either by coming to some of the fundraising events or volunteering in whatever inspires you. Because really, again, when your work is aligned with your values and your passion, it's inspired work, which doesn't feel like work at all, right? Okay, one more thing I need to encourage you to do. This weekend is the I've Decided Success Motivational Conference. It is this Saturday, September 7th. If you have not gotten your ticket, you need to do that today. I've decided business members and community members receive a ticket. So if you are already involved, you need to be checking your email for that ticket that's sitting there waiting for you. If you are not a member yet, please join and join us on Saturday. There's going to be some great speakers. I am really, really excited. We have Carl Cannon speaking this weekend, so he's going to be great. But I hope to see you all this Saturday. And until then, I'm Michelle Bohm, and this is Inspired.